Opower delivers a white label consumer engagement platform to utilities that is primarily used to increase energy efficiency through behavioral psychology and analytical insights.
We take meter reads and energy information provided by the utility companies. We ingest it into our platform. We then perform analytics on it, and we ship those analytics to, through a variety of channels back to the end users, the customers, including you and me.
Delivering energy in the United States and even worldwide is a difficult task, as we still have pretty much the same grid we've had for many decades. And utilities are faced with a difficult challenge of providing energy to more consumers with the same infrastructure and higher regulations around energy efficiency and around pollution. And big data can bring value to the utility by helping them understand nuances in how energy is consumed by their consumers, which will allow them to deliver it more cheaply and more effectively, and also allow them to control demand more cheaply and more effectively.
The obvious form of energy usage is how much energy are you using? But we also are interested in what types of energy are people using, or how are they using it?
We are looking at up to 3 years of a time series of consumption data just to figure out the optimal way that maybe a house is heating and cooling itself, or a consumer is using energy throughout the week, throughout the season, throughout the year, etc.
To be able to serve all of utilities and all customer base, we basically need something that scales as far as storage, and that thing for us is Hadoop and HBase.
That's been a huge improvement for us, not just from a scalability and flexibility standpoint, but also from a cost standpoint.
Smart meters are now feeding us data every 15 minutes.
We're delivering information to 40 million households.
We have a new product that's a programmable thermostat that will learn from your behavior, and you can control it, but it'll also keep track of at what times during the day do you set your thermostat, at what temperatures, what is your thermostat behavior like in relation to the weather, or in relation to what your neighbors are doing, that kind of thing.
But if a consumer comes into the website to check where their bill is going that particular month, we will do a real-time calculation for them on top of HBase, so they get the most fresh, the most up-to-date bill forecast. And if they've been changing their behavior, hopefully that is a reward and encourages them to keep that behavior going.
It is the means by which we are able to deliver our insights at scale, at real time, to end users.
I wanted to find a way that I could introduce Hadoop to Opower with the least amount of risk and the shortest time to market. The Cloudera training was particularly valuable by providing insights, standard practices, what can go wrong and how to troubleshoot that to the SysOps team, so that they didn't have to learn a lot of those on the go. And I think that's particularly key when you're trying to introduce a new technology to an already functioning business.
Cloudera really gives us that comfort level to say, look, there's a partner there. So as our business grows, we can basically work with you guys to understand how to grow that and how to make sure that our cluster stays healthy, and that we're ready both today and moving forward.
I think that's a particularly valuable piece of Cloudera's offering is not just understanding the software, but understanding how to use it and how to interact with the open source community to get the most value out of it.
Working with a Cloudera manager, it gives you a lot of tools to be able to know exactly what your cluster is doing at any given time, which is really valuable to us. We can quickly locate, this part of our cluster is down or this part of our cluster is normal, even though it looks like it's not, and so we can diagnose problems from there.
I've never had to deal with a cluster that wasn't managed by Cloudera Manager, so I might be spoiled. It's much easier to deal with all of the configuration through Cloudera Manager, and I don't think I would ever live without it, just because dealing with all those machines is a repetitive task, and Cloudera Manager handles all of it for you. So it's a really nice tool to make it as painless and effortless as possible.
I don't know how we would do it without Cloudera Manager. I think it would be, we would have to invest a lot of time in terms of propagating a lot of what we do is managing configurations, tweaking configurations, restarting servers, making sure that our health is good.
Opower's had a significant impact on the environment now. We've offset 2.5 terawatt hours of energy, which is enough to power St. Louis, Missouri and Salt Lake City, Utah for over a year.
I think $300 million we've saved for consumers in the United States. I think the last stat I saw is I think we've saved enough energy at this point to essentially negate the Sacramento Municipal Utility District or Sacramento City off the grid for a particular year.
As we grow, that impact just keeps getting bigger.